So here we are at spring training, clean slate for Ryan Helsley. How good does that feel?
Yeah, it feels great. I feel good. Had a good off season. It's exciting to be back in Florida. Nice to be down here with the new teammates and getting to know everybody in some warmer weather.
So last year was a rough season for you because you had the injury, you're away from your teammates, had the forearm. I think there was a little back and forth with how you should be used and everything. What was your takeaway from last year? Because obviously players look back at things and try to pull something that can be useful out of it.
Yeah, obviously, like you said, being hurt's not ideal any way you look at it. But I was proud of the way I pitched when I came back, and was healthy down the stretch and pitched well, and kind of went into the off season with something to build on.
To be able to bounce back like that with the form, which was lingering, and there were stops and starts along the way. How good did that feel to be able to finish on a high note?
Just a breath of fresh air, big peace of mind there going into the off season and not having to kind of worry about it and dance around it throughout the off season. I had a regular off season throwing program wise and weightlifting wise, and I think it set me up for a good year this year.
When you're going through something like that and you're away from your team and, like I said, stops and starts, you're a young guy with a bright future. Did you ever start to think, like, what's going to happen with this? How is this going to end? Am I going to be Ryan Helsley once I get through this?
Yeah, I feel like a normal person always has doubts, and concerns and wondering what's to come of it, and just trying to trust the process one day at a time, and having faith in our athletic trainers and guys in there, and knowing they had a good plan for me, and trusting the scans and stuff that I had, and that they were good and clean, and just needed a little more time, basically, and like I said, finish the last month there healthy, and it was nice to end on that note.
Was it a normal off season for you? Did you try to change something around? Did you try to tweak some of the ways that you normally
I started throwing a little earlier, kind of more of an on-ramp, so to speak, a little longer progression period, and everything feels great though, and excited to start facing hitters this week.
In terms of how you're used, right? We all know there was a little back and forth. Can he be a back-to-back guy? Can we pitch him as much as we need to? Where are you with that right now? Like, how do you look at that situation?
Yeah, I think it's whether they want me to throw, 2 innings or be a guy that can be ready every day. I think, putting that many up-downs and that many pitches on your body is hard to throw back-to-back. And, you throw 2 innings today and an inning tomorrow, you might need 2 or 3 days down, because that's a lot of stress in a short amount of period of time. And, I think I can do either, whatever they want, and obviously, different situations call for different needs. So I feel like we've always had a pretty good communication between the coaching staff and me, and I think that's going to get better, and we'll build on that this year.
So you're a guy who is a good teammate. I know from the guys in the clubhouse, they all respect you. But how does a player balance that, knowing, hey, what I'm doing here might have a negative impact on me this season or down the road, but also trying to do what they're saying they need you to do? How do you balance that?
Yeah, I think, for me, I want to win, and if I feel good enough to pitch, I'll pitch. I don't care if I've thrown 3 days in a row or 4 days in a row. I just try to listen to my body and be able to pitch for as long as I can, and just be successful and be a good teammate, like you said. So just try to be honest with myself, and just go out there and take the ball whenever my name's called.
You have been a starter in your past. Right now you're a closer. You've thrown an immaculate inning. Not too many people can do that, so it talks about your stuff. But long term, have you seen yourself as being a closer from here to whenever, or at some point do you think maybe I'd like an opportunity to change it up a little?
Yeah, we'd have to see. I feel like, it's been so long since I've started, have to be almost like riding a bike. I feel like I could figure it out. But I've been in the bullpen for going on my 6th season now. So, but yeah.
But look like a guy like Hicks, who was a closer, did it at a pretty high level. Said I want to start. They tried it, and now he's starting too. So he's kind of starting fresh.
Right. Yeah. I guess it just depends on what the team needs. And if they feel like there's value in me starting, I definitely would. Or if they think it, better helps the team, that I'm in the bullpen.
Your stuff is sick. Well, you have more stuff that you could throw.
Yeah, if I was a starter, for sure, I'd throw more curveballs, more changeups. Out of the bullpen, I'm basically fastball slider. So it's just hard coming out of the bullpen to throw 4 pitches. When you have 15 instead of 100 to 110. It's hard to mix 4 pitches in 10 minutes.
Is that something you think you could toy with? Because if everyone's expecting those 2 pitches, why? Because they're dominant pitches, and all of a sudden you're going to break off a curveball. Is that something you thought about maybe incorporating a little?
Yeah, for sure. I probably catch them every day and throw them in bullpens and stuff, and in case scouting report calls for it against this guy or that guy. But I feel comfortable enough throwing all 4 pitches. It's just I feel the main ones, fastball and slider, have kind of gotten me where I have been these last couple of years, and basically since I've been in the big leagues, I've been in the bullpen. But those other 2 are still there if I need them.
I've asked you this before, but when you break off a fastball and you know that you landed it, do you look back at the radar? You go, oh, 103. Like, do you look at that?
More sometimes, but more so I feel like on off-speed stuff to see where that's at compared to the fastball. But yeah, you definitely look. I think anybody that says that they don't look is probably lying to you. So,
is there a transformation of Ryan Helsley in a save situation, big game, where it's time for you to close the door? Like, do you need to separate? Do you need to get into that mode? How does that work for you?
No, I feel like I try to treat every outing the same. So when that's the World Series or the playoffs, it's the same game you've been pitching in for the last 162 and the last 5 years before that. So just try to look at it all the same, and try not to put too much added pressure. There's nothing a player doesn't expect out of themselves that a fan or someone else can expect out of them. So
some closers would have to get into character. Like, sure, Al Roboski would like stomp around, and apparently when he's about to go in, you didn't go near him. You're still the same guy, though. That you don't metamorphose into some creature or anything.
No. Same guy.
Last year was a rough year. I mean, you had the injury and everything like that, but for the ball club, how difficult was that for you to not be part of, but also knowing your teammates and everything? How badly do you guys want to turn the page going into this season?
It was tough. I think there were a couple times there early in the season where we felt like we kind of righted the ship, and then basically just played 500 ball the rest of the year and dug ourselves too deep of a hole and just never really found our stride. And we feel like we're plenty talented and we got the right guys, and we're excited about our new additions. And I think all you can have and ask for is an opportunity. And that's what we'll have this year, and just go out there and compete every day and take it one day at a time.
I know relievers are a different animal than starters, but that starting rotation brought in an edge with a fellow by the name of Lance Lynn.
Mm-hmm.
Are you excited about having kind of different veteran voices in the mix in that clubhouse?
Yeah, I think so. I think signing those guys, we probably our starting 5 might lead the league in service time now. Those guys have a lot of experience, and
they're ancient.
A lot of them have pitched in big games, so that'll be valuable, not just to the pitchers, but to everybody to have that in our clubhouse and that leadership. And, we've lost some great leaders over the last couple of years, and Yachty, Albert, and Waino, and, legends of the game, especially in Cardinals baseball. So it's definitely going to be weird this year without Waino, but, I'm excited for the guys we have, and, ready to hit the ground running.
Aside from the rotation and the elders that are part of that rotation, what do you like about the ball club as it stands right now?
Yeah, I'm excited. We got some younger guys in the outfield and, in the middle infield, like Mason and Walker. Really excited to see, what those guys can do, getting reps every day and, being our guys and just letting them go play. They obviously have all the skill in the world, and, really excited to see what they can do. And, we got some new additions in the bullpen, and that'll be exciting. And, we got a good group. I think it's been pieced together well and had a good off season.